Welcome to Reflections, a program where we discuss values and virtues for the transformation of the individual and the society in general. I am Father George Ehusani, and I want to welcome my new friend to the studio, Professor Chukwu, Professor Godwin A. Chukwu. You're welcome to the studio.
Thank you, Father.
Thank you very much.
Nice to have you here. And then, nice having me.
Thank you. Professor Chukwu is a professor of petroleum engineering, and he started petroleum engineering in University of Port Harcourt, and then in African University of Science and Technology in Abuja. He started the Department of Petroleum Engineering in these schools. He taught for nearly 20 years at the University of Alaska.
Yes.
And was head of department.
And more than that.
At the University of
my last position there was Senate President of the University.
Senate President of the University.
Yes.
So, of Alaska. So, his wife is also a petroleum engineer, and they are back home. They've been back home since 2013.
No, 2010.
2010, and they started Tonsia Energy Consulting.
Yes.
So they are consultants when it comes to energy matters. But I have brought Prof to the studio not to discuss petroleum energy because he has not succeeded in making sure that our refineries are working. We are still buying refined fuel. So that one will be another discussion for Prof. But this time we are to discuss about integrity, addressing the challenge of integrity using youth. Prof has been involved in promoting integrity beginning from formation of youth. And since this is an area that Terra has been involved in and is highly interested in, I decided to have a chat with Prof. Prof, since I know you came back in 2010, you started your Tonsia in 2014. When did you get into the issue of integrity and especially addressing youth integrity?
Thank you, Father, for having me. And there's an opportunity again. I've addressed this issue since I came back. But before I came back to Nigeria, I was so much involved with community development involving the youth in my own area and beyond my own local community. I was involved in getting scholarships for the youth, funding them at secondary school level, and also selected university level candidates who actually would be interested in studying engineering in any Nigerian university. And I was also involved in taking 31 Nigerian students. 31 of them I funded at the University of Alaska for their masters and going on for their PhD. 31 Nigerians.
31
Nigerians. Yes.
Are they in engineering?
Both engineering and non-engineering at the University of Alaska. And,
since you were the chairman of their Senate. No, we need more than 31.
No, I did that, and that was a record from any country. Knowing how unique Alaska is with cold,
yes,
people were thinking that Alaska would be a place that would be a no-go area. But when they come there and then see my kids jubilating and then other Nigerians, they say, is this Alaska?
Well, nevertheless, that guy behind the camera will never go to Alaska. He will never, because he can't even survive the cold in Nairobi, not to talk of Alaska.
That's true. But in any case, I've been involved with the youth empowerment and then making sure that the youths of Nigeria have the integrity to actually be empowered. That's very important.
Have the integrity to be empowered.
Yes.
So, you need a measure of integrity to get empowered.
Yes, because empowerment means that trust. You have to be trusted with whatever empowerment level that you get.
For Jesus says that he who can be trusted with little
can be given more. Isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. So I fell a victim to this in my area. I happen to be member of the board of trustees of a microfinance bank in my area.
Okay.
And I was able to discuss with the youth to give them some funding, level of funding. So I talked to the chairman of the board and he said, yeah, that would be good. So these, I think about 20 of them were given some money from the bank. And that was a big lesson. They never paid.
They never paid?
No.
And the trustees had to be held responsible.
Exactly. Now the bank is saying, myself and the chairman recommended that this youth could be.
Of course.
Yeah.
You guys should.
But then, after about 2 years, even though they have not paid, on my own money, I called the youth. I say, now you people are talking of helping and empowerment. I want to make sure that you are responsible. Because if you are not responsible, whenever we visit Nigeria, our lives are in danger. Integrity comes into play. So eventually, I was able to give them my own money, 2 million.
Go and pay.
No, 2 million, to empower them more and more.
Okay.
Because these are different sets of people.
Oh, okay, not the same ones.
No, different set. And about 80% of them up to now, they've not paid.
So there's a matter of integrity.
So that is why I decided to talk about integrity, because there was somebody, I think it's from somewhere in Imo State or so, Dr. Godwin Maduka, you might have read of such a person, who actually developed a village in his own community. And then a lot of people from my area are saying, do as Dr. Godwin had done. I say, I started this even before Dr. Godwin. And where are we today? So it is a question of management of whatever you give to this case that matters a lot. So, but that will be a discussion for different entrepreneurship. But for the integrity, we have integrity issues from the upbringing of a child. We have integrity issues from where the time the child goes to school. We have integrity issues after the child leaves school. So when all these are put together, what are the elements that will make a child to be trusted with the integrity that you expect of that child?
I mean, you are going into a very big area, and it has various ramifications.
Yeah.
From the time a child is born in our society, the child is hearing the parents tell lies.
Well, I'll come to that.
Yeah. So indeed, from the cradle, the child is exposed to lies, to things that are fraudulent.
And that's what he knows.
That's what the child knows.
Yeah.
Then we used to hear of exam malpractice at the end of secondary school or in whatever. But we're even hearing of exam malpractice in primary schools now. In fact, some parents are committing fraud, changing the age of their children. If a school is very strict on, okay, your child must be 4 or your child must be 5 before she enters our school, we have parents going to adjust the birth certificate in order to get the child to go to the school. I mean, it's when it comes to integrity, unfortunately, many children are born into corruption, are raised in corruption, and they begin to practice corruption without knowing how they are laying their lives on a wrong foundation. So it's a very big issue. So I'm interested because, it's like I said, this is an area Luke Sarah has been dealing with. So I'm interested in your magic wand, how you intend to address the challenge of youth integrity.
First of all, I told you, charity begins at home.
Correct.
When a child is born, the child grows with whatever environmental characteristics that are really about him or her. If you have a child, I'm not saying you, if somebody has a child, the parents owe it a duty to raise this child in accordance with what they want the child to be.
Yes.
But nowadays, parents are after what the child can get for them.
Not what they want the child to become.
Not what they want. They want the child to become a rich person.
So that they can.
So that they can get their own call. And that is a problem we have now. Fundamentally, many parents are not actually bringing up these children in the way that this child can grow up to be somebody you can trust in future. Take, for example, you have a child or somebody has a child. The child is supposed to be in school, elementary school.
Yes.
And this child comes back possibly 2 o'clock with other kids. And the first thing the child does is to go and start playing soccer or football or anything. and the mother is going to be there. The mother will be pecking the woods. The mother will be fetching the water.
It's not involving the child.
It's not involving the child. That is how it starts.
So the opportunities for the child to learn discipline,
it's not
hard work.
It has failed already from the beginning. And then when this child goes to school, there's a problem with the child with schoolwork. And this child comes back to tell the parents, different story. The parents will rush to the school.
And harass the teachers.
So this is what I've been telling many parents. Listen to your child, but go ahead and verify. And many parents.
We have many ugly stories of parents, I would say, in all modesty, irresponsible parents.
Yes.
Parents that are like teenagers who have not grown up, but they are parenting children, who have gone to school and in the presence of all the students, disgraced, humiliated, assaulted teachers.
Yes, that is correct. And even threatened to take the teachers to court or the school in the presence of the children. And this is...
So how do you expect these children to respect the teachers?
Exactly. So that's the fundamental, that's the beginning. Then when this child gets to secondary school, the only thing this child knows is to talk back to the teacher.
And bully.
Yeah. And that becomes a problem. When this child gets out of school to take a JAM exam or something, the only thing this child knows is the miracle center that the parents have sent the child.
And unlike when I was in school, when you were in school, where parents definitely were not involved. My father hardly knew the school that it was in the same town, but my father never came for 5 years.
Exactly.
My mother never came for 5 years. Parents are, while they have no time to sit down with their children to teach them values, they are micromanaging.
Yes.
Parents are, we are told that there are schools that parents meet with the principal or teachers to discuss how much this year for helping Miracle Center.
Yes. Miracle Center has overtaken this strictness and accuracy of good education in Nigeria.
Yeah.
I have cases where children are disciplined in school and the parents withdraw them.
And take to another school.
And the aim is for them to go and register them in these miracle centers. And this is a child who cannot spell the family name. Is now getting 6 credits or 7 or whatever it is.
Actually, the only reason why the child is not getting 6 A's is I can't even copy well.
That's another thing. Most of them can't even copy what you give them.
Oh yeah. Many of them can't copy well.
That is so bad. And if for any reason this child goes into a higher education, tertiary institution, it becomes worse. Because what this child is now going to display is what the child has carried from childhood.
All the while.
And what it is going to be Yahoo. It's going to enter this big man's club, which we call...
And in a society where there are allegations of Yahoo people becoming leaders, that on its own now worsens the problem.
That's a discussion for another day.
Yeah, because the child has someone to look towards, to look forward
to. And you see some of these children, not only Yahoo, they are in the cult activities.
And there's something called Yahoo Plus, in case you don't
know.
And
that is even dangerous. That's more dangerous than ordinary Yahoo.
Ordinary Yahoo is just fraud.
Yeah, fraud.
Yahoo Plus means that you support the fraud with...
Cult activities. And, very...
diabolical.
Whatever it is, you took it from me. So this is the problem now. When this child goes there with this mentality that my parents have been there for me, they have supported me, and they can get me out of trouble, they start committing different crimes. They stay 4 years in the university without even doing anything. They can't show anything for it. They pay other students to take exams for them out of intimidation.
I have someone who went to one of our universities, one of our federal universities, to do a master's degree. And then he just arrived. He was going through the registration process, and he saw something on a notice board. If you want somebody to help you write your thesis, call this number.
Are you kidding?
Yes. And that is when he resolved, because he had gone to a strict undergraduate system. That's when he resolved that this university is not for me. He saw it on the notice board that there are people who are ready to help you to write your thesis. So this contact.
And why go there and spend your time?
Why go down to why can't you stay in your home and get them to do this? So and then what is even worse now is that you are having universities where lecturers help.
I'm coming to that, because that is where, during my own time when I was beginning my teaching career at University of Port Harcourt, I mean, it was very, very obvious that students, is either you come to class, take the lesson, take exam and pass, or you fail and you're out. But nowadays, teachers invite students to their homes, as I was told, write exams or give them the scripts for whatever reason and for whatever exchange, and all these embodying into the integrity issue of the youth.
Now, let me ask, could it be that those adults, because everyone teaching in the universities and is a full adult,
yeah,
could it be that those adults that are conspirators in this, whether it is adults in the secondary school that are teachers, or in the university, could it be that they don't know the cause and effect relationship between these unconscionable things that they do and what the repercussion will be? Because, I mean, it pays to understand that every cause has an effect, right?
Yes.
You did physics.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For every action, there is equal and the opposite reaction.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So, how come that, is it that some of us are so daft that we don't recognize that every such terrible action, like showing a student the paper is supposed to, you are the one to examine, so you should be the last. I mean, we used to hear of secretaries in those days when they were typists that typed the exam. We used to hear of secretaries
leaking the
exam.
Yep.
But now,
it's the teachers.
It's the teacher themselves.
Yes.
The exam officer himself.
This is open. Many of them have gone to court. So that's why we are saying it publicly.
Yeah.
But the issue here is that those people that are leaking the exams, the teachers and whatever, that's the fundamental values they've carried forward.
Oh, they themselves.
Yes.
It's a reflection of the lack in their own formation.
Lack of integrity. And apart from that, the leadership of whatever institution this is happening might have been involved in this in one way or the other, as to be very soft on those who have committed the crime.
Yeah, because if from the very beginning, when the school was founded, if it is that this is a no-go area, you do this, you are gone.
Yeah.
Then in such an institution, it wouldn't happen like that.
So the issue is, you might have rules and regulations against some of these practices. How are they implemented?
I mean, we are in the world. We are in the same world. I mean, I schooled in the U.S. in the 80s.
Yeah.
I graduated from Howard in 1990. But I'm saying, we never heard, whether it is in Howard University or Georgetown University nearby, or whatever nearby, the kind of things that we are hearing here.
Because the system is
broken down.
The system is broken down. Let me give you an example. A child was asked, this was on social media, what would you want to be when you grow up? This child said, I want to be a politician. And the father asked, why do you want to be a politician? Because I can get money through corrupt practices.
So the child doesn't know what it means to say corrupt practices.
I can get money through
corrupt.
Yes, corrupt practices.
What a commentary on our political class.
And this, I mean, that when I read this type of thing, I start asking myself, what are we doing and what have we done to our society? People call it generation, change and all the rest of them. But I call it
It's madness.
Madness, and then lack of parental guidance. Some parents nowadays, I'm sorry to deviate, some parents are more involved with what the children bring to them than what the children achieve.
Tell me more about that, because I don't understand what you mean. Many parents were supposed to train their children to be successful in their own life, but you are now talking about many parents are more interested in what children bring to them.
Yes.
Is it
that we have a lot of cases, say in the community, where children in universities or polytechnics will come and buy land. They are students.
Come and buy land for their parents.
They come and buy land for whoever they want to buy land, but they come and pay for land. And their parents will go and co-sign for them. Without asking, where did you get this money? You have children that will come back during Christmas, during Easter, during any periodic festival with cars. Students. And the parents won't ask them. You have students who leave school after about secondary school, 2 years or 3 years, and in 1 year they come back with lofty things, and the parents wouldn't ask, where did you get this?
And so this is the origin of our corruption.
That is it. So I know that when I was in secondary school, I attended I went on holidays to one of my uncles in Anam Ihiala. I came back with what we call a bally shoe.
Yes, of course.
And my mother looked at it. He said, who gave you that?
Who gave you that?
I said, it was Uncle Kevin. And he said, keep it. When I see him, I'll ask him.
I'll confirm from him.
And I never wore the bally shoe. Until Uncle Kevin came back, may his soul rest in peace, his late. And then my mother said,
look, I come from a place where it is on record that the headmaster, he was a headmaster, the first headmaster in my hometown to buy a Riley bicycle. When he bought the Riley bicycle, the father said, I cannot have a thief in my house.
Exactly.
Riley bicycle. Where? How? That my son can buy you? You must have stolen money. He had to analyze, show his salaries over the last 2, 3, 4 years, how he earned £1 here and whatever, how he was able to gather money to buy the Riley. Until he explained that to his father. His father said he should take that to Riley bicycle. Wherever he stole it, he should take it back. Riley bicycle.
So, what discipline would that prove to the children? If you have 2, 3, 4 children and you do this to number one child,
yes,
others will then learn a lesson.
Yes.
This is integrity. This is where parents have failed in our modern day bringing up of all their children. They have failed.
So for Nigeria to be better,
I'm talking of some parents now.
Yes,
let's not
I
generalize.
know. For Nigeria to be better, what it means is that as you focus on working for integrity among the youth, some messages must be going to parents, because the kind of people who cheated their way through school and through university, many of them are raising children now.
Yeah, that's
so
correct.
What do you tell them? We just have 2 minutes to close. What do you tell them?
Make sure you verify whatever your child brings back to you, either as a message or as a gift, as a material. And then when these children go out late at night, make sure you verify where they have gone to. This is where most of these
and have light out and have time that they must come back home.
There must be a coffee time. Okay, if you're living in my house, you have to come at a certain time. Otherwise, I'll ask you questions. Some parents cannot even open their mouths and, in our own cultural way, shout on their children. They can't, because they believe that the children will not give them the goodies the next day.
There's this thing about children giving goodies. Students, I mean, I'm still...
But you know that. It's happening. It is happening anywhere, everywhere in Nigeria today. Yes.
Olusegun, is that true? That your colleagues, your age-mate students, they used to bring things for their parents when they are not officially known to be working? I mean, this is serious, and we'll be bringing this segment to an end. I've been speaking to Professor Godwin Chukwu, petroleum engineer, and an academic who has taught at the University of Port Harcourt, has taught at African University of Science and Technology, has taught at Alaska, and has made several Nigerian students go to scholarship, right?
31 of them.
31 of them to study in the U.S. and graduate studies, by the way.
Yeah.
So, and then we will discuss more about this, your entrepreneurship program for young people. And I want to congratulate you for what you are doing. You have brought your rich experiences from outside the country to help our country. Right now, we are in trouble because even our recently concluded elections, that may be topic for another day, is highly, the level of corruption that went into it at various levels is something that is lamentable. And we will discuss.
And the youth are involved.
Of course, any of these things we do, we use the youth, we abuse the youth, and we destroy the future.
And the parents are aware of all this.
Yes.
The parents are aware that their children are involved.
Yes. So may the Lord help us to save the next generation of Nigerians.
Thank you,
Amen.
Father.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Nice talking to you.
Thank you.
Yep.